We have to shake up. I want to roll up my sleeves and get to work, and I still can't believe that I'm standing in front of you today.
Scholarship Fund provides graduate and undergraduate scholarships to Bay Area women. Since 1985, the fund has given over 2.5 million grants to more than 300 Bay Area women.
I cannot thank Financial Women of San Francisco enough for granting me the opportunity to continue writing my story.
Your mentorship will empower me and help me thoughtfully evaluate and navigate these next opportunities.
It has truly given me more vibrant energy and more confidence to have even bigger goals in life.
You not only gave me the opportunity to receive the scholarship, but actually become a part of this wonderful organization.
Coming here to the US, I saw that it was lacking so much in terms of giving women the choice to motherhood, to maternity leave, to so many things that were very obvious in my home country. I want to actually start my own company in order to set those policies in place, to make it easier to plan your family life and to have more work-life balance. My dreams are sometimes so big that they scare me. I actually aspire to run a female-led venture fund here in Silicon Valley, investing in other women and their dreams, and especially crossing the ocean and bringing Silicon Valley money to Europe. I kind of want to be the trailblazer in Silicon Valley and kind of give women more opportunities and actually be the change. I think that passion is one of the most important things you can have. With passion comes determination, with passion comes hard work, and with passion comes resilience.
When you're faced with a very challenging situation, you just need to put yourself out there and just do your best, and there's nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals. Back in Nepal, having a child who's a girl, people think that it's a burden. They think that women are not supposed to go to schools. They just think that we just need to get married. My parents, they kind of challenged those people. So I have 3 sisters, and they would always encourage us to pursue our dreams and just push us towards having a good education and having our own careers and not depend on anyone else. Coming here has given me more freedom and have bigger goals. I always had a dream to work with the Big 4 companies because I had only heard about those companies in my textbooks while I was a student in Nepal. So after my graduation, I'll be starting my new role as an audit and assurance associate with Deloitte. It was a dream come true, and I'm living my dream right now.
My dad went into business. There's this adorable photo of me going to a career day with him, and I'm just this little tot, and I have, a J.Crew mini blazer on. I really look up to him and everything he's done for our family. He's really successful, and I hope that I can really do similar things. Going into Santa Clara, the classes that challenged me and made me think the most were finance and economics. My finance class this quarter, I walk in, I'm really excited to learn about investments and bonds, and I look around the classroom and I realize out of the 35 students in the classroom, only 6 were females. I think that there needs to be more representation of women in leadership roles, in finance, and just in the business world in general. One of the things I'm doing at Santa Clara is I'm the Director of Finance of the Women's Empowerment Summit, the Own It Summit, and now we're really working to make this next summit, which is next year, really about being strong and also just about empowering yourself in your career so that more women can be at the leadership table, be in those leadership positions, and feel excited and ready to contribute.
I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand, where my parents escaped to after the genocide in the 70s in Cambodia. When I was 14, my parents decided to send us to the US to study because there was no future for us girls there. I didn't know a word of English, so that's where the journey began. Raising my sisters without my parents here, and I learned to be the parent and trying to do well in school. When I was a child in Cambodia, I always dreamed I would go back and start a school. After 10 years when I came here, an angel investor decided to give me the money I was asking for, and it was a bilingual school. My biggest dream is actually to become the first female prime minister of Cambodia. I just want to go back and change the whole system, the education system. My mom, she never got to go to school because she was 9 when the war broke out. I've always looked up to her. I think this scholarship is her scholarship.
In Saudi Arabia, it was almost a vicious cycle of financial struggles. And so I just wanted to end it, and I thought that to do that I had to take a big risk. January 2015, I remember the date. I remember walking off the plane and just wondering, what have I gotten myself into? I think it was just this desire to be independent, to be able to make my own decisions, to be able to write my own stories and not have someone tell me what to do. I really wanted to make a mark in this world, but do it on my own. I'm a 4th-year accounting major at San Jose State University, and I plan on becoming an auditor and hopefully after a couple years switch to industry and go into corporate finance. I've never had a female mentor before to kind of figure out how it is like to be a woman in business. And so being able to tap into the resources that this network has to offer is going to be a great opportunity for me, and it'll help me launch my career.
It started when my dad, he got bedridden due to paralysis. My mom was left with this task to feed like a family of 5, and she did not have any professional education or experience at that time. She's one of the strongest women that I know. She persevered, she just hard worked, and she made sure that all of us, her kids, have the best of education. We got so much motivated from her, and today I have a successful career in cybersecurity, fintech domain. And I think my journey is now at the next step. I want to set up my own venture to make 1 million women empowered and financially independent. The more and more we'll empower these women, that will give a motivation to their daughters, their sisters. I have always believed that when you educate a man, you are educating an individual, but when you educate a woman, you educate a nation.
I moved to Stockton, California from the Philippines when I was 9. It is difficult being the oldest of 3 and only daughter to a traditionally Asian family. The challenge that I face is wanting to be my most authentic self, but also, balancing the respect for my parents and their culture and the customs. I just have plans, to try to be more independent. I work right now in an organization at school with immigrants, helping them study for the civics test. I would love to continue and work with immigrants because it's just so near and dear to my heart. I've realized college has given me the opportunity to be more exposed to social justice issues, and one that's really close to my heart, along with immigrants' rights, is the environment. So I'm trying to find a way to combine both my love for finance and my love for the environment. The dream at the end is to own like a sustainable fashion company or a sustainable interior design company. That would be awesome.
When I was a baby, my parents kind of tied me up in a ribbon and they handed me off to my grandparents. They were off to Italy to do their grad school, and I think circumstances were just, they thought it would be better for me to stay home. It wasn't until years later that I really got a better sense for all the sacrifices that they made for me. I feel incredibly grateful for all the guidance that they've given me, helped me broaden my perspective. Growing up, I've always loved numbers, and in college, I studied statistics. When I graduated, I got the opportunity to join a bank to do securitization, so I jumped on the opportunity to do so. During that time, I really saw some of the inefficiencies in the market, and that's what really led me to the Bay Area, just to be at the center of finance and technology.
This scholarship means so much to me. I think part of it would just, to me, it's just a validation of the things that I've done in the past, and providing a platform for me to meet some really incredible people, and hopefully one day to start my own fintech startup.
My parents and myself and my older sister are refugees to the US. My parents had to leave Afghanistan because of the invasion.
They really struggled financially, and really my goal during my youth was to find a solution for my parents to have financial stability. I was able to do that during my undergraduate studies and opened an authentic Afghan restaurant in downtown Oakland. I decided to employ refugees. It was a great opportunity to help others who were in a similar situation that we were once in ourselves. Once my parents were stable, it was time to do something for myself.
I am a graduate student at Cal State East Bay. I'm pursuing an MBA.
I've been inspired by a lot of social venture companies. I hope to one day be a CEO of a social venture company myself. As an immigrant, I've learned that persistence and determination will help you accomplish any goal in life.
My passion academically was in consumer psychology and buying behavior. And it wasn't until I interned at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in DC that I saw the need for design-centric thinking when it comes to consumer finance. We're at a point in the industry now where we have some women towards the top of various companies, and they're the ones who are really actively bringing up other women. And until we have women leading financial services companies, we're not going to see the kind of products that are focused on women. And with 1.1 billion women globally who don't have a financial account, that's a problem to solve. At the end of the day, my greatest fear personally is to not have a voice. My goal is to give other people that voice too. And without being financially stable and without having the resources to make financial decisions yourself, you're always going to be dependent on somebody else. I just hope that throughout my journey, I can find ways to do that.
I was born and raised in Mexico, in a very small town. The highest education opportunity was middle school, and the only employment was farming. Coming here and seeing that I could actually change that and have a future of my own and be the person that dictates my future. I knew that I wanted to go to college just because for me that represented financial stability. Getting into UC Berkeley was something unbelievable for myself, but that wasn't the same response that I got when I told my parents. In our culture, women don't leave the household until they're married. I had to basically go against them, so I left. That meant losing their support. I know that if I change the way things have been in our family, and if I'm able to make it, I know that all of my uncles, my aunts, everyone's gonna change their perspective, and they're gonna know that, wow, like their children can have a better future, and we can't break that cycle of not going to school. I believe that you can't become what you can't see.
I'm really passionate about ending sexual violence, and I want to use investing and finance to support companies that are innovating in the sexual wellness space. There's also a need to talk more holistically around women's sexuality to go beyond just don't hurt women, but also talk about issues like equalizing pleasure and reclaiming sexuality as a healthy part of our lives. I got this idea when I was 14 to start a nonprofit called Everybody Dance Now, which uses hip-hop dance as a tool for empowerment. 13 years later, we're now in 6 cities. We have 80 classes a week. I think sometimes we separate, we do our nonprofit and philanthropic work, and then we have our career. But I think there's a lot of ways to incorporate finance into mission-driven work. I heard someone say that to break glass ceilings, women can build our own houses. I'm excited about entrepreneurs and also female fund managers who are launching their own funds. When you can start an organization, you can build it with the culture that you want right away.
Let's give another round of applause to our 2018 FWSF scholarship recipients.